Whether you started from 1, 13, or 30, at some point you're probably going to have to do vile bounties in order to level up. This build is made for when you want to do solely vile bounties or bounties in general. It's designed around crossfire and gun damage in general in order to give you the most amount of damage possible in the short burst time. I'm focusing here in the red tree, but here's the overall red tree, and then here's the blue tree if you just want to copy and paste. I'll just hit the highlights. What we're doing is stacking fire rate in order to gain bonus fire damage from this. Works for both our action skills and our guns. And we got a fire rate boost here, gives us a bonus fire damage. I have a class mod that's giving me extra reload speed, which that is going to come into play here with Brimstone, because Brimstone then converts reload speed into fire rate at 80%. So this is essentially giving us 32% extra fire rate here. This extra bit is giving us 80% of 4. That'll give us bonus fire damage, which will also, just fire rate in general is going to up our DPS. We're going to use Devil's Tines to get an extra augment. So for our augments, we're going to use the sawed off in order to get dual shotguns. These dual shotguns are the most important. So if you're only running one augment and you want to try something different, this is the one that's going to help knock off the vile crystals the easiest. The dual revolvers just don't work as well. The Show Your Marrow is going to give us a chance to shoot connect bone shards. These do extra damage around an enemy, and you could also sacrifice your life to increase chances in order to gain that. Then we're going into Lawless. This is going to increase our kinetic damage. It's going to allow us into Nothing Beats Lead, which makes a portion of all elemental damage go into kinetic damage, or is converted into kinetic damage. And what this allows us to do is you essentially use any weapon, but also with any weapon, when we're dealing kinetic damage, we have a chance for ammo refill, and we have a chance for action skill duration restoration. So in the process, it's not infinite ammo per se. It does refill your ammo, but it takes from your reserves, so you have to be cognizant of that. But it does constantly keep reloading your gun for you. Then we're going to go into Pale Rider. This is going to do bonus kinetic damage with our action skills, gives us a little extra damage. Go into Unshaken. We're going to increase our damage from every source when we lose fortune stacks. So anytime we hit Windfall, this gives us a huge boost in stacks. So if you hit Windfall at 10, you'll get 50% extra damage from all sources. Then we're going to go into From Gloam to Glow. This is going to give us overshield whenever we get hit. Just a little extra survivability, because when you're in your crossfire action skill, you're unable to use your rep kit at all without cutting short the action skill. So that's important. Then we're going to use, whenever we activate Crossfire's Burst Fire, we gain a chance to enter Windfall. That's where we're going to do a lot of extra damage here from Unshaken. Lastly, going into the blue tree, I've got 5 more points into reload speed. This is going to give us extra fire rate, extra bonus fire damage. Then we're going to go Sounds of Rain, give us extra chance to critically hit. We also have some critically hit chance here in Stand and Bleed. For our specializations, we're going to go mostly into Daredevil. I wanted to get Now with Caffeine in order to keep our action scale up as much as possible, but then also be able to get some extra action skill damage in here. I'm going to continue on this path with using Brute, going into all the way down to Riddle You This. That's my next goal. So if you're ahead of me in specialization points, that's where I would go after. Lastly, I found the Pistolier class mod to be very useful because of its increases to our fire rate and our overall damage. I also got this Hotshot class mod out of the Golden Key box. This one was really useful. It also replaces your Crossfire Burst Fire with a Beam Spin attack. This one is very good at knocking crystals off of vile enemies. The only problem is if it's something that's flying in the air, such as Cratches, then you can't shoot this upwards, so you lose your burst fire ability altogether. You just have to aim and shoot at the Cratches or any flying enemies. So that's why I ended up using this one. Also, this one, I used this in the opening that you saw on Bramble Song. This was the class mod I was using, so that shows you where that's at as far as overall DPS. But once again, this is the build. This works really well for vile enemies. I've been using it, variations of this, from the time I hit 30 all the way on to 60 when I was doing only bounties. And this is what I use for the blue tree. Once again, this is by no means an end game build, but it is something that I'm looking at. I can either run a full-on any gun build or something along the lines of an AFK Rafa build with its crossfire abilities in order to just run around and let the action skill do all the work. So I'll be going through and figuring out how I want to use this in the future and through all the UVH leveling. So if you want to see those builds, make sure you're subscribed. See you.